Hey guys, just want to say thank you very much for the continued support on the channel, and I have a question to pose to you guys. So far, right now, who do you think is the player of the series? And I ask you this because at the end of the series, I'm going to put up another poll asking the same question, and I'm going to get a jersey, a kit if you will, of that player of Athletic Bilbao. So far right now, who do you think is the clubhouse favorite for being best player of the series? Please let me know in the comment box below. What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and welcome back to the Basque Boys. As always, if you are still enjoying the series, please do go and drop a like. Now, today we got Numancia in the league, and then the Gunners of Arsenal in the Champions League. The biggest test of this Champions League group by far, since they're predicted to be the group winners. We'll see how we fare against them. But before we get to that, we've played a few matches both in the Champions League and La Liga itself. Let's take a look and see how we did. And since our last episode, we came across the buzzsaws that were Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, contributing to our first two losses of the season. And that's not to say that we didn't have a great start. We did. We jumped out on Barcelona early, scoring the first two goals of this match, Villalibre and San Jose. But just afterwards, it was all Barcelona all the time, getting 4 goals from the 28th minute onwards. And it was, like I said, it was just a buzzsaw. Because Barcelona being Barcelona, scoring all those goals and getting the 3 points no matter what. We also came across Atletico Madrid, and the buzzsaw of them contributing to a 5-2 loss. Villalibre, Beñat on our side, but then taking a look on the other side. Zivkovic, Romelu Lukaku, Diogo Jota even. It is just a tri-headed attack of FU coming down the pipe. And that's very unfortunate for us, but at least we got those 2 big matches out of the way early so we can focus on the rest of this half of the season, start to rack up wins, at the very least draws, and then we'll see where we go from there. Outside of that, a 1-0 victory versus Alaves, Batista getting a goal there, and against Olympiacos in the Champions League, a very nervy 3-2 win with Batista getting a brace and Hervias being the all-important goal scorer in the 81st minute, because Olympiacos scored in the 90th minute. I would not have loved a draw at all, especially in this group. So it was nice to come away with the 3 points there. Now, getting back to the league itself, even though we suffered 2 defeats, we are still in 3rd place, 15 points through 7 matches. We are just 4 points behind Real Madrid and 6 behind Barcelona. It's still early in the season, but we can still make up all this ground. Now, as you can see in the Champions League, we are top of the group after 2 matches, and then in the Copa del Rey, we are drawing against Cadiz in the 4th round. A very easy, winnable match. I want to say Cadiz are in Liga Segunda, so the 2nd tier, so I feel like we should be able to play our youth, at least get a rotation going, and come away with a win there to get into the next round. Now, speaking of youth, Chris Atangana got his full first-team debut, not just in the league, but also in the Champions League. He took over in front of nets for that Alaves match, as well as in the Olympiacos match. He did a lot better versus Alaves than Olympiacos, to be fair, but at least that he got himself some first-team experience. I'm sure his development's going to continue on going forward. Just give him some more play time. But yeah, all signs pointing to a decent player going forward. And speaking of giving him some continued play time, that's exactly what we're going to do here today versus Numancia. We're going with the 4-2-3-1, and the lineup's going to be as follows. Like I said, Atangana is going to be in net. Echeverria, San Jose, Unai Garcia, and Yuri along the back line. Beñat and Javiraso in the middle of the park. The 3 attacking mids will be Hervias, Lopez, and Iker Muniain. And sitting up top, Asier Villalibre. Yes, it is a bit of a rotation. Quite a bit of rotation for this, but against Numancia, who are sitting in the bottom half, near the bottom quarter of that table, I feel like this should come away with a win with this team that we're going to put out there. So let's go kick off, see what happens, and hopefully continue on with this little bit of form, this good form that we've had in the league to start the season. 24 minutes on now, and we got ourselves the first highlight of the match. Yuri gets across into Iker Muniain. It falls in front. Munir was only able to parry it away, and Pablo Hervias was right there to pick up the spillage, gets it into the back of the net, and it's Bilbao 1, Numancia 0. Let me also correct myself in saying this was a deflected pass from Yuri. It bounced off a defender, gets to Muniain, takes a decent shot, good parry away by the goalkeeper. It's just that Hervias was right there to pounce on it and gets us into the lead. Something I don't like to see early on. Echeverria has himself a yellow card. Going to have to monitor that, as well as Javiraso. I don't want to see the Lemonheads on this pitch in the first half, but we're seeing it right now. And so we come into halftime, and Unai Lopez adding to the lemon-headed list, and also at the same time, he's on a 6'4 rating. So guess what? He is going to be coming out, and Susaeta is going to be taking his place. A lot of other players just with 6'5s and 6'6s on the pitch, not good looking, especially Villa Libre sitting up front. He needs to get the ball. He says he's looking motivated, which is good. It means he's getting into the right positions. It's just the ball is not getting to him at the end of the day. So it's just a matter of the midfield getting up to snuff, especially with getting the ball up to the front guys. Outside of that, everyone's doing fine, especially defensively, not allowing Numancia a lot of shots on nets. They've only had 2. 50 minutes on now, and we got Numancia with a shot. And I don't know what happened there. I think the ball bounced off of the post and went right to Omer Atzili. And Omer is able to knot this match up. Let me take a look at this again. Inigo Perez crosses it in. Now, didn't bounce off the post. It bounced off Atangana. It wasn't a good clearance. And Numancia have found themselves a way into this match. Oh boy. Come on, defense. 6 minutes later, though, we may be able to get something attacking-wise. Herveas puts it forward, but he's taken off of the ball with relative ease, which is very unlike him. And we have 2 guys around Pacheco, and none of them taking the ball off of him. And now we are getting the ball off of the Numancia players, but it's just going directly back to Numancia. Fortunately, that was a weak shot. Nanagano was there with the save, but defensively, we are starting to lose focus. And as time is ticking away, Numancia have turtled up into a 5-3-2 formation. There's the full-time whistle. This is dropped points right here. The 1-1 draw versus Numancia sitting at the bottom half of the table, bottom quarter of the table. This should have been a little bit more of a demolition job, but on this day, we give up points. Defensively, we let ourselves down, giving up points. I mean, it's not that hard to just understand the formations that I'm putting out there. You're training in it every single day. Why is it so hard to just go out there and focus and execute? Right, so now we are traveling out to the Emirates to take on Arsenal. And as you can clearly see, they're coming out in a 4-2-3-1. They have Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, and Ox as their 3 center attacking mids. They had Luan sitting up top. Honestly, I've heard the name before, but I never really use him or see him get played. Xhaka, Koscielny, Chambers, Petr Cech, Mustafi is there as well. So we got ourselves a monumental task ahead of us to try and pull anything out of this match versus Arsenal. We're going to line up in the 4-3-3 today to give ourselves a little bit more balance, I should say, between attack and defense, and this is how we're going to line up. Ruffier is going to be in net. Leque, San Jose, Laporte, Monreal is making his Emirates return, this time in an Athletic Club shirt, so I wonder how that's going to go down. But anyway, the 3 attacking mids, or the 3 mids, I should say, Benyat, Itaraspe, and Marino. Out on the wings, we got Munain and Herveas. Sitting up top, John Batista today. Yes, Villa Libre's been having his struggles. I still have faith in the young kid, but I'm going to trust John Batista with his 4 goals in 4 appearances. So let's go, get some goals, and hopefully come away with a draw. I'm hoping for a draw at the best. If we can come away with a win and shock me, that's great. But I'm expecting a draw at the very best from this match. So let's go kick off and see what happens. And yes, with this 4-3-3, we're also going to try and play very controlling. We want to hold on to the ball as much as possible, matriculate it down the pitch, and hopefully that will end up leading to a goal or 2. That's best case scenario. 11 minutes on now, Petr Cech with a free kick. It falls Arsenal's way as they're bringing it up the pitch. Alexis into Mesut Ozil, gets it out to Ox through to Luan, and Luan scores, giving the Gunners a 1-0 lead very early on. It's his 5th goal of the season. I mean, let's just take a look at this. Alexis to Ozil, Ozil giving it to Ox, and as you can clearly see, 2, possibly even 3 players shifting over to that one side, leaving the net completely exposed for Luan. Gotta do better. Gotta do a lot better. And as we come into halftime, we did in fact get a couple of shots off here, but just nothing of any note, nothing of any substance that would consider a highlight. And as you can clearly see, 1-0 still to Arsenal. It's just been a lot of running around, chickens with our heads cut off, not knowing exactly what to do, and the ratings clearly show that. Nothing but 6.5, 6.6 is the random 6.7 popping out there as well. So it's just not been the best of times for this club. I don't know what to say. I swapped it down to counter to think that, okay, if we put more men behind the ball, maybe we can do exactly that, hit him on a break. But here, let me try one thing. Let me actually move Itaraspe down and make him a deep line playmaker. Maybe if we go through like this, get an extra defender there as well, playing on the counter, and then we could possibly do that. I'm not going to change the team instructions. Actually, I will. Change team instructions to exploiting the flanks, hit those early crosses, and higher the tempo. Maybe if we come out in the second half and punch them in the mouth, then they will be left with their mouths wide open and gobsmacked that we actually scored a goal on them. So let's hope that that's the case. Second 45, there's still time to get ourselves an equalizing goal in this match. But it's not looking likely as 6 minutes on. What was that? That was a pinball is what that was, and oh, wouldn't you believe it? Can you believe it? The ball is said to have pinballed off of Nacho Monreal, and you've seen that a couple of times in an Arsenal jersey. 20 minutes left to go in this match, and Arsenal still coming forward with the ball. What a great save from Ruffier, keeping the scoreline as it is. It's still only 2-0, but ooh, just a whole lot of defensive miscues right there. Well, I do gotta say, if this was the test, if this was supposedly the test on how well we'll do in this group, I think it's safe to say we failed. And we did not live up to any expectation of trying to hold the Gunners to a draw. We're just all over the place, and it doesn't look like we're going to get anything from this match, either in a good or even a mediocre way. Final score, Gunners 2, Athletic Club 0, and it was just one-way traffic. It was all going to one team, and it wasn't us. 18 shots to our 5, 12 on targets. Yeah, that's the key factor right there. The 12 shots on target led to mistakes like the Monreal own goal. So with that being said, Arsenal are now topping the group. We are behind them on goal difference, as well as head-to-head, I'm sure. We still have Olympiacos. We still have Schalke again. We could definitely come away with wins versus those two, as well as the return leg versus Arsenal coming up very, very shortly. Which, when you think about it, this is the test that we need to start studying for, that we need to better ourselves and ready ourselves for the knockout rounds if we get that far. So I feel like we should be coming back once again versus Arsenal and seeing how well we have grown over these next 3 weeks. So I feel like the next episode will be Arsenal and Levante, and then the episode after that will be Olympiacos and Espanyol, because at that point in time, after Espanyol, will be the knockout round draw for both Champions League and Europa League. So that being said, that's going to be the end of this episode, and we all knew that Arsenal is going to be the most difficult challenge of this group. As soon as we were drawn against them, I already knew that it was going to be possibly a draw at best out of the 2 matches versus them in the group. So maybe we can come away with that at home. I have no idea. It all comes down to how well the team plays compared to how Arsenal play. But anyway, guys, I've been rambling on too long, so I'm going to say thank you very much for watching this episode. If you liked it, go and smash that like button, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. Comment below on what you thought about this episode, the series as a whole, and remember what I said at the start. Who do you think is the MVP, or should I say, who is the man of the series so far to this point? Please let me know in the comment box below. But anyway, guys, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.